What? Freaking drones flying all over the place and no one seems to know what they are, where they come from, who's controlling them? Guys, as always, if you want to learn more about survival and preparedness, you definitely are in the right place. I always recommend my books, Surviving the Economic Collapse and Street Survival Skills. You will have them in the links there below so as to be better prepared for the crazy world in which we are. And this is just an example. Let's check this out.
Frustration over the government's lack of answers on the mysterious drones flying over the East Coast right now. Lawmakers spent this week combing through what little is really
That's a plane, bro. That's
known about them right now. The Pentagon saying they're not ours. FBI and Homeland Security say they don't appear foreign or from an enemy. And there's been no threat to the public. Joining me now is News Nation's special correspondent Ross Coulthard. Ross, good morning to you. It's like no matter what way you slice it, we got a problem, right? If it's Russia or Iran behind it, there's a problem. If we simply don't know who it is, that's a problem.
Well, good morning, firstly, and can I say, let's hope it's aliens, because if it's Russia or China, we have a very serious problem. And this is the issue. The government has now admitted that we are of the view that it's not a foreign adversary government, a foreign adversary of any kind, and moreover, it's not US technology.
So it's not US technology and it's not foreign, so it's aliens, right? Or it is a foreign government, or it is Russia, and they're just fucking around with you, and the U.S. government logically cannot say, yeah, it's Russia. They're flying their shit right over us, just like the Chinese did. It would look quite bad. You already had Chinese spy globes floating, right? It was a balloon, a Chinese spy balloon with a freaking, and it got shot down. But for how long? It was days. That Chinese balloon was floating on top of a U.S. military base in U.S. soil for days until they brought it down. And people saw it again for days, just floating slowly towards its target and then doing a scanning thing or whatever it was doing. And it sent a horrible precedent. So now you will not admit that you have more of these things. It was, at least for me, it's far more likely to be Russia or some other country than anything else.
US government technology or US military technology, which doesn't leave very much. All it leaves is the possibility of some dissident rogue group in government or maybe some private contractor that's doing the wrong thing. It really does put us in an extraordinary position, because what's happening at the moment, Marky, is I'm being besieged with angry people from places not just New Jersey, but all over the United States, who are telling me that they're really angry that the White House has suggested that this is a misidentification. Unfortunately, yesterday, Admiral John Kirby, the national security spokesman, pushed the line that people in New Jersey particularly are misidentifying manned aircraft all the time for these drones and suggesting that there's something anomalous about them. And people in New Jersey are very angry because they've seen these things for themselves. They know they're not normal drones. They're seeing them do increasingly weird things. They want answers, and they don't like being gaslit by the White House.
Yeah, and there were just...
It looks like a normal drone. I mean, this is not like those unidentified, I mean, they don't call them UFOs now, some other thing that you see moving like fucking very weird, like impossible physics. This looks like a big drone, like something very, very much human technology, right? Let me know in the comments if you're a drone expert sort of guy. Let me know what you think.
Sightings in California, right? Temecula. So this is now no longer just a New Jersey East Coast problem, Ross.
It never has been, and again, there's been some very clever spin on this, but this has been an event that's been happening all over the world, Marky. It started a few weeks ago in England, over two major RAF bases, Royal Air Force bases in England, but I'm getting reports from here in Australia, where I am, China, Russia, parts of Europe. There are sightings happening all over the world of extraordinary so-called drones or objects that appear to look like drones. And incredibly, the government here cannot give us any answers. They seem unable to provide a simple explanation for what these objects are.
And do you believe
whoa, that one? Wait a minute. That is the one that is alien, right? That is the UFO, the triangle one that had 3 lights. Haven't we had a bunch of those being reported and some? Yeah, that is.
Do you believe them when they say we don't know? It's like, how can you tell us that we're safe?
The blinking of, I mean, fuck, that looks like an actual, big drone with human technology. The blinking of the lights like that. Isn't it?
It's not a foreign adversary behind the controls of these things when you're also at the exact same moment.
I mean, it's not moving like tick, 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 like, like those impossible kind of movements. This is very much drone-like in terms of its speed and the light it emits.
Unable to give us any more to chew on or work with.
Exactly.
That one is
How
wild.
can they
That's very
possibly
big.
make any kind of assertion that it's safe, that there's no national security threat, there's no public safety threat, and that it's not a foreign adversary? They must know something more. And I think a lot of people are getting angry that the government's not being fully transparent about what it knows. They want answers. And so do people in Congress. Senators, congressmen, they're now starting to really rattle the cage. And as we all know, folk from New Jersey aren't reticent in saying what they think.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised more people aren't just, taking them out themselves in their own backyards, Ross. I know that's been floated out by some senators, too. Lastly, before I let you go, you're going to be hosting the special for.
Let's take this one out.
Joining me now, I have Roxbury, New Jersey Councilman at Large, Jim Riley. Jim, thank you for hopping on with me. Describe to me how thin your patience must be right now. I mean, to be a leader of a community where I imagine people are looking to you for answers, right? And all you can tell them is, I don't know.
Absolutely. It's getting crazy. We're outside looking at these drones. My wife brought it to my attention initially, and I was like, no, that's an airplane. And then I saw another one, and I was like, no, that's a drone. And it's just crazy that nobody could tell us anything, but there's nothing to worry about.
So tell me what it's like right now. I mean, has this become almost a watch party every night now where people are out in their front yards, their backyards, waiting and watching for these things to fly overhead?
Pretty much. I'm on communication with a lot of the mayors in the area of Morris County, and I want to thank them because I think they really pushed the issue here with the drones. But yeah, we all talk about, we're going outside and looking at these drones up in the sky, and then we get the White House coming on saying, they're fixed wing airplanes. What's going on?
Yeah.
We don't get it.
It doesn't look like a fixed wing airplane to me. What do you make of that hearing this week? I mean,
no, the crazy thing is, if this is like technology they're trying, right, something military, why would you do it in such a populated place, right? What are you testing that you need to be right there where there's so many people? When you do have locations that are a lot more isolated, very low population density, maybe go there instead to try anything new you have, right?
No answers were given, yet everyone's been told no national security threat, you're okay. I mean, how do you believe that if you're not given any more to work with?
Of course not. We're happy that nothing has happened. So, there's security in that aspect, but we don't know what can happen. And without that kind of knowledge, how can anybody feel secure knowing that there's 6-foot drones out there that can have payloads that can, harm us in significant ways?
Is that what worries you the most? The worst case scenario of them being armed?
Yeah.
Of course. It's our residences that are the most concerned. And when you hear that nothing's happening and there's nothing to worry about.
Yeah, anyway, interesting. Let's see how that continues and goes on and develops. But not a good sign in terms of how safe you keep your own skies, right? If you don't know what's freaking flying around all over you. See you next time, guys. Take care.